If a radar or ADA system does not seem to be inputting or outputting digital audio, there is a test we can perform to rule out any other equipment or to prove that the radar or ADA is functioning as it should be. We call this the Loopback Test. It involves testing the digital inputs and outputs independent of any other equipment. In this video, we are performing the Loopback Test on a Radar 6 through a MADI coaxial port. However, you can use other forms of digital I/O such as ADAT, AES, TDIF, or optical MADI. This test can also be performed on ADA and other versions of radar. The first step in this test is to remove all the cables and connectors from the unit. You will plug a few of these connectors back in, including the main power, session controller, or KC24 remote, and the DVI monitor. Using a single BNC coaxial cable, connect one end of the cable to the MADI out port and the other end of the cable to the MADI in port on the unit. Once you have these cables connected, power on the unit. Once the unit has booted, set the unit to its correct digital I/O source. Navigate to the I/O menu or press the Dig-In button on the session controller to select the Dig I/O format. Select your digital format type. If you are using MADI, go to the I/O menu, select MADI settings, and set the MADI type to the MADI type you are using, and press Enter. At this point, if you are testing an ADA system, set all your I/O routing to 1-to-1 and send an analog signal into an input on the ADA. The meters bouncing on the D to A side should match the meters on the A to D side. If you are using radar, there are still a few other steps you will need to perform. Load or create a project with audio on a few channels. Navigate to digital inputs within the I/O routing menu and set this to all. The small track numbers to the left of the waveforms on the radar view will turn yellow when you set it to digital. If using MADI, press the Shift key and the Route key, or navigate to the Input Routing menu within the I/O menu and route inputs 1 through 12 to tracks 13 through 24. You should see the track inputs on the radar view display change accordingly. If you are using AES, ADAT, Light Pipe, or TDIF, you will not need to set this routing. Instead, connect the cable between outputs 1 through 8 and inputs 9 through 16. Once these settings have been correctly changed, make sure that the auto input light is off. Arm tracks 13 through 24 if using MADI, or 9 through 16 if using another format, and press play. You should see the meters of your tracks playing back mirrored exactly on the armed tracks. If the digital signal is not being input into the armed tracks, please run through this procedure again to ensure that everything was performed correctly. If you do see the signal as expected, this will show that any I/O problems are not caused by the radar or ADA.